Volunteer of the Year award to Douglas Gabel.
So, you may have heard that my friend here was in the hospital. All right, it was serious. It was real serious. 3 weeks ago, a tub of margarine fell on his toe. It still hurts today. He says, "I can't believe it's not better." But as he,
where did you get that from?
There's more.
As he continued his recovery, he started on a banana diet, but he did not find it appealing. One more. Okay? As he was contemplating his surgery with great concern, he asked Tommy Dean if glass coffins would be successful. Tommy responded, "Remains to be seen." So, all three of those came off of Doug's Facebook page. All right? So, if you like them, subscribe. All right?
If you get out, you have to take it, right?
Ruth, Ruth, are you going to open up a comedy division of Denville TV? Right there. Okay. So, Doug's already been recognized, all right? YMCA Denville Citizen of the Year, Guidance Service Award from his church, Denville Good Scout Award. But we all know that Doug does so much more. He wears so many hats. First and foremost, he's a remarkable son to his parents. And I know they're not here, but Marissa, you can tell them. They must have done a great job to get a guy to turn out like that, okay? Right? So, number two, he's a loving husband to his very, very patient wife, Chris, okay? We thank you, Chris, if you're watching at home, for generously sharing Doug with us, okay? And he is an amazing, energetic dad to Marissa and Jason. He's an Eagle Scout. He's a trustworthy and loyal Scout leader. And soon, he's going to become a wonderful father-in-law to Frank. Frank, you're joining a wonderful family, and I am really glad that you passed the test by becoming an Eagle Scout and all those other accomplishments. Okay? Doug is a Kiwanian in the Legion of Honor. He served Denville for 10 years with me on the Denville Town Council, quite well. He is now a Morris County Parks Commissioner. Doug wears many hats, and he wears them all well. So, Doug, my hat's off to you. And we all know that Doug is a very corny person. So because of that, I'm sure we will be all ears as he talks.
I knew one day those were puns would come back to haunt me. And thank you, Chris, for sharing that. My wife and I moved to Denville 38 years ago. And that was probably one of the best moves that we ever made. Not knowing what the community was like, we've come to love and adore this particular community. My service began years ago when Mayor Gene File at that time needed somebody to join the local assistance board, now the Denville Social Services. And I began my service in the community then, and I've just continued to be a part of the community year in and year out. And it gives me just such great joy to be able to provide service back to the community. I do think my parents taught me well the importance of community service, helping others, and volunteering. And I've tried to make that part of my life. Faith, family, and friends are my motto, and certainly my faith has kept me very strong. My family is supporting me all the time, and it's all of you who make volunteering and working in community service interesting and fun. And I thank you all for that very, very much. So with this award, I humbly accept it, and thank you all for recognizing the small way that I continue to make Denville just a place that we want to raise our families in. Thank you.
You guys want to come up and get a picture, please?
All right. On behalf of Mayor Tom Andes, who couldn't be here tonight, this afternoon, I have proclamations for each of the recipients. I'll give you some of the highlights, all right? Denville Social Services. Whereas the Township of Denville Division of Social Services maintains a local assistance board and employs a social services coordinator who works with a volunteer board appointed by the mayor. They work with the citizens to enhance their lives through programs and respond to local needs as they arise. Their programs touch all age groups from infants to senior citizens. And now there's a bunch of whereases here, okay? If you guys want them all, I'll give them to you. Or I'll give you some of the highlights here. Denville Social Services reach is beyond the food pantry, right? And it's important to remember that. And it runs additional programs for the benefit of those in need of the community. They hold an annual back-to-school drive, Thanksgiving food drive, holiday toy drive, adopt a family senior program, and even collect pet food for Denville's pets. They also work with Denville senior citizens to promote awareness of their available services. With a bunch more whereases. Therefore, the mayor, Thomas W. Andes, mayor of the Township of Denville, extends a heartfelt appreciation and sincere thanks to all the members, past and present, of the Denville Social Services for their distinguished service to our community, and urge all our citizens to pay tribute to these very special members of the community. Ruth, more congratulations heading your way. All right. So, whereas Denville Pride Council presents annually the Muriel Hepner Volunteer of the Year Award to an outstanding volunteer of the Township of Denville. And whereas Ruth Gimble was raised in Queens, New York, and went to Pratt Institute in Brooklyn to earn a bachelor's degree in architecture. Whereas Ruth and her husband Craig lived in Lincoln Park, but now they live in Denville, all right? And they raised their son Alex. Ruth Gimble has worked part-time as a freelance architectural draftsperson. Did not know that, okay? And for the wonderful Denville women-owned architectural firm Hope and Faith Zimmerman Architects. All right. Whereas Ruth Gimble has been an active member of the GFWC Women's Club of Denville Rockaway since 2009, and for the past 2 years has been the editor of Women's Club of Denville Rockaway newsletter. Whereas Ruth Gimble has volunteered for the Denville Beautification Committee for the past 10 years. Okay. Whereas Ruth has done a lot of wonderful stuff, and now, therefore, the Mayor Thomas W. Andes, Mayor of the Township of Denville, extends a heartfelt appreciation and sincere thanks to you, Ruth Gimble, for your distinguished service to our community. Thank you. Display it proudly, Ruth.
Oh, I will. Thank you so much, Chris. You did such a beautiful job.
All right. You know, my hat's off to you already, okay? So, you know, that hat won't fit you, okay? Doug got an award Thursday night, got an award today. His head's probably getting so fat, you know? All right. Whereas the Denville Pride Council, just like for Ruth, okay? Whereas Douglas N. Gabel was raised in Boyertown, Pennsylvania, where he joined the Boy Scouts and eventually earned the rank of Eagle Scout. Whereas Douglas N. Gabel married his wonderful wife, Christine, and raised their 2 children, Marissa and Jason, in the Diamond Spring Road home. Whereas Douglas Gabel served on the town council for nearly 10 years, he was twice selected to serve as council president. He was a liaison to numerous committees, such as the Planning Board, Recreation, Rivers and Streams, and Trails committees, as well as the Pride Council. But perhaps the one he had the biggest impact on was the Mayor's Council for People with Challenges. And, wait till you hear this one. And whereas Douglas N. Gabel always willing to help raise funds for the many worthwhile organizations he is associated with, whether it is the local American Cancer Society's Relay for Life, and Real Men Wear Pink, the Polar Plunge, Playground 2.0, the Boy Scouts. He is always in the forefront with great enthusiasm, which has earned him the title of a very expensive friend. He has boundless energy, and if he is your friend, you have a very good friend indeed. He's done a lot more good stuff, but now, therefore, the Mayor, Thomas W. Andes, Mayor of the Township of Denville, extends a heartfelt appreciation and sincere thanks to Douglas N. Gabel for his distinguished service to our community, and urges all citizens to pay special tribute to this very special member.
Public service announcement, Relay for Life is only 20 days away. You can sponsor me on my Facebook page. Thank you.